What is the value of Taj Mahal?
I'm not sure. I don't think we can.
We have a great GDP. We must have put some number to it, no? According to your logic.
No, all the goods and services, which
Not the things which are present in the country,
which are manufactured,
and not the services. The IT company that provides the services, isn't that part of GDP calculation? What is repo rate?
Repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks lend loan from the Reserve Bank of India.
What is reverse repo rate?
Reverse repo rate is the rate at which the Reserve Bank of India lends loan from the commercial bank.
Why would Reserve Bank of India take loan from the commercial bank?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. May I come in?
please.
May
Have
I
a seat. Okay, so let's start. Introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Kshitij. I am from Mumbai and I recently completed my class 12 with 93.8%, securing the top rank in my school's commerce stream, and I scored 96% in 10th. Beyond academics, I was the assistant head boy of the school, and I also chaired a committee at the school's Model United Nations event, and I was also part of the school's Business Leaders League team, which helped the school win the Silver Level Award in Global School Enterprise Challenge for running an innovative business. And apart from that, there is an online community named Shark Tank India on Reddit with over 240,000 members. I am one of the main moderators of it, and my role involves organizing community discussions and organizing interactive sessions with Shark Tank India judges and participants, and managing community discussions. And I also used to run a YouTube channel briefly where I used to make informative videos about case studies, where I used to make informative videos about Indian economy, air pollution and air travel safety.
Sorry, YouTube on Indian economy?
Topics like Indian economy, air travel safety, air pollution.
Air travel safety, wow. And pollution, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Where does India stand in terms of pollution index globally?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure about the exact figure, but it stands low because most of in top 50 cities, top 50 most polluted global cities, most of the cities are from India.
Which is the most polluted city in the world?
It is from Delhi.
Sure.
As far as I know, but I'm not sure. I'll check it out.
Okay. You mentioned about Shark Tank. So what exactly you used to do?
Okay, so as a moderator, my role involved organizing interactive sessions with Shark Tank India judges, as well as the pitchers and entrepreneurs who used to be on the show, as well as managing the discussions of the community. So, for example, we organized a session with Mr. Amit Jain, who was the founder of Car Dekho. And there were many pitchers as well, with whom we had organized sessions.
So this is an online session but live?
No, it isn't. The name of the sessions are AMA, which means Ask Me Anything. So the members ask questions and the people answer.
On Reddit?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And how do you rate the success of this initiative that you had? You were moderating.
The parameter would be the comments that the post has gotten, the AMA post has gotten.
And what was the maximum number of comments that you have ever come across on the AMA?
The maximum was around 520 comments for Mr. Amit Jain's AMA.
Okay. When did Amit Jain started his startup?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but I'll check it out.
How long? I mean, approximately 5 years, 10 years, 15 years?
A decade. At least a decade.
A decade back. Okay. You also were the member of MUN of your school, right? So I'm sure you would be part of multiple discussion at MUN. So could you come up with one such discussion that you were part of?
Okay, so I was the chair of a committee named UNOSA, United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs, and the main discussion or agenda of the whole committee was addressing the digital divide in accessing space technology and data, like the divide between different countries. Like USA, if you compare two countries, USA and Kenya, both have different devices, both have different capabilities of accessing the data. So we had to address it.
Okay. Let's have a discussion on a topic. Is UN really a need of an hour in this multipolar world?
Can I just get 15-20 seconds to think?
Sure.
Okay, so the United Nations with 193 member nations is definitely in need of an hour because it holds together different countries. But we are seeing various instances wherein the United Nations is being, people are not laying much emphasis on United Nations, but then on this is these things happen in first world countries. For example, USA, the USA withdrew from WHO, but the United Nations still has much emphasis, much importance on the rest of the world, especially the developing countries.
What is your understanding of multipolar world?
Multipolar world is where there are many leaders, and
There are many leaders.
it is not polarized. There are different views, different beliefs in the whole world. It is not extreme.
Okay. And okay, have you heard the term Global South?
Yes.
What is Global South?
Global South refers to the countries in the south, so southern hemisphere, especially India, then Australia, New Zealand.
Are you sure India is in the southern hemisphere?
Half of India is in the southern. No, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure. But India is a part of the Global South.
India is part of Global South. Which other country do you think is a part of Global South?
The countries from Southeast Asia, such as Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam.
Right.
So apart from your understanding of United Nations as a body which gets people on the table to talk about issues, does it really do anything concrete?
That is a very difficult question to answer without having actual facts and figures. So I would rather be neutral. But then
You're saying you don't know about any UN's other initiatives, other missions that it does in countries, apart from getting people on the table.
I currently don't have actual data, but then
Very good. Okay.
But
Thanks.
then, okay.
Thanks.
So, which all subject did you study in class 12?
First is English, then maths, accounts, third is accounts, fourth is economics, and fifth is commerce.
You
Fifth
scored
is?
Commerce.
commerce. You scored the highest in which subject? You were a school topper, no?
Yes, highest was in commerce.
Commerce. Okay. And the second highest?
Second highest was economics.
Economics. Okay.
Sorry, my highest was in English, and highest was in English, and second highest was in commerce.
Okay. Can you explain me what is GDP and how it is calculated?
Okay, so GDP refers to gross domestic product, and for example, this is a cup. This cup has a value. There are various other goods in this room. Each good has its own value. So the totality of all the goods, the value of all the goods present in the country is known as GDP. And there are three methods of calculating.
Sure.
Yes.
What is the value of Taj Mahal?
Sorry?
What is the value of Taj Mahal?
I'm not sure. I don't think we can.
We have a great GDP. We must have put some number to it, no? According to your logic.
No, all the goods and services which are sold have value.
Goods and services which are sold have value. And not the things which are present in the country.
Which are manufactured.
Okay, you want to
Which
answer
are
this again?
manufactured, and not the services, the IT company that provide the services. Isn't that part of GDP calculation?
Yes, services is one part and goods is another part. The manufactured goods are included in GDP as well as the services offered. these two things. And there are three methods. One is value added method, second is income method, and third is expenditure method.
Can you explain each of them?
Okay, so the value added method adds the gross value of each product present in the country, and the income method has a different approach. It has three parts: compensation of employees, mixed income, and operational surplus. We add them. And in expenditure method, we have again private final consumer expenditure, government final consumer expenditure, and public final consumer expenditure. But the figure remains the same.
The figure remains the same.
Yes.
If you calculate by different way, the figure always remains the same.
There might be minor differences due to the shortcomings in each method, due to different limitations in each method, but the overall figure remains the same.
What is India's GDP?
India's GDP currently is $4.187 trillion.
And what is the inflation rate?
Inflation rate is around 6.16%.
6.16%, sure.
Or 3%. I'm not sure.
3%.
I'm not sure exactly, but I'll check it out.
Now the current, recently there was some change in repo rate. Do you know what is the current repo rate?
The current repo rate is 5.5%.
Or is 5.5% or above 6%?
It is 5.5%.
When was it changed last?
Recently, I think a week ago.
Week ago. What is repo rate?
Repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks lend loan from the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank.
What is reverse repo rate?
Reverse repo rate is the rate at which the Reserve Bank of India lends loan from the commercial banks.
Why would Reserve Bank of India take loan from the commercial bank?
I'm not exactly sure, but I'll check it out.
And who, exercise this, the entire activity of, changing the repo rate and the reverse repo rate?
There is a whole committee.
Who heads that committee?
The RBI governor, Mr. Sanjay Malhotra.
And so, what are the rules, or what are the key responsibility of an RBI governor?
The key responsibilities of an RBI governor would be to overlook monetary policies as well as fiscal policies, control inflation rate, then decide the reverse repo rate as well as repo rate, decide the CRR as well as SLR, and basically overlook all the commercial banks. And it also acts as an advisor to the government, advisor and treasury to the government.
Okay.
In an ideal world, and you have all the superpowers to control the inflation rate of India, what do you think is an ideal inflation rate? It should be high, it should be zero, or somewhere in the middle?
It should definitely not be zero. I feel it should be around 2 to 4%, between 2 to 4%.
Why not zero?
Inflation rate of zero would mean that there is no growth in the country, and it would mean that there is no increase in income of the people.
Sure.
Yes.
So by that same logic, we should have a high inflation rate
No.
to have higher growth in the country.
But it is extreme. So like higher inflation rate should be adjusted with the increase in incomes as well. So moderate inflation rate of around 2 to 4% would be apt for the development.
What is the inflation rate in US? Do you know?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but I'll check it out.
Okay. You studied mathematics, right? Okay. Could you explain me the real world example where the matrices is used?
I'm sorry, I don't know I don't remember in real world applications of matrices.
Okay.
But I'll research on it.
Okay. Any real world application of integration?
Integration is used in economics as well to calculate actual revenue from marginal revenue. Integration is basically summing up of all minute things. So if you have different quantities of marginal revenue, you can integrate it to find the actual revenue. And the same goes.
Isn't differentiation used to calculate marginal revenue?
Differentiation is used to calculate marginal revenue from total revenue, and integration is used to calculate total revenue from marginal revenue.
Okay. Can you tell me one function which on differentiation as well as on integration does not change its value?
E raised to power x.
Anything else?
I'm sorry, I'm not aware of any other function.
So e raised to x is what you think. Okay.
Do you understand this function? Can you explain this function to an absolute layman? What is e raised to x?
E is an irrational number, and I'm not aware of the actual, but I know the graph.
Can you plot the graph? Yeah. So I'll give you a graph. Plot a graph. F of x is equal to f of x is equal to e raised to mod of e raised to minus x. So it is e raised to minus x. The whole thing is in mod.
I'm not exactly sure, but I'm taking a guess. The graph would look something like this.
This is graph of
Since e raised to mod of minus x would result in e raised to x itself.
Are you sure?
Because minus x is in mod function, so it becomes x.
Okay. So according to you, this is the graph of mod of e raised to minus x.
Yes,
How will e raised to x look like on a graph?
the same way.
And e raised to minus x will also look the same?
No, e raised to minus x would be
Draw another graph, draw another.
Yes.
Okay.
the inverse of e raised to x, something like this.
So this is e raised to x, right? That's what you plotted.
Sorry. This would be the graph of e raised to minus x, where both the lines
Now take mod of this graph.
e raised to minus x mod.
So if you take a mod of this, what will happen?
I'm not sure.
What happens when you take a mod of any
It
graph?
becomes it becomes positive.
It becomes positive. So will the graph of mod of e raised to minus x change from what you have drawn? This is graph of e raised to minus x, correct? Now if you take a mod, will it change?
No.
But
Yes, it will. Sorry, I'm not exactly sure.
is the value of e raised to minus x positive as per the graph that you have drawn?
Yes. As per the graph.
Correct. So now you take a mod of this. Will
Mod
it
of
change?
the whole function e raised to
Yes.
minus x.
Will it change?
No.
But sometime back you said e raised to x and e raised to minus x mod will have the same graph. So now you tell me which is correct, this one or the first one?
I'm not exact. I feel this is correct.
Think about it.
The graph would remain the same. This graph.
This graph is correct and not
Yes.
the first one which you said.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Take one more function. F of x is equal to mod of log of minus x.
I'm sorry, I don't recall the graph of log x, but this function would turn into log x because minus x doesn't log cannot be the value of log cannot be negative.
Let's do it step by step. What is log of 1
Log of 1 is 1.
and log of 10?
Sorry, log of 10 is 1, log of 1 is 0.
Log of 100?
2.
Can you just plot those three values?
I feel it would be
Correct.
something like this.
Okay. Now, will it go in the second quadrant?
It won't.
It
Won't.
will it go in the third quadrant?
No.
Fourth quadrant?
No. Only the first quadrant.
What is log of 0.1? Okay, what is log of 0.1?
If log of 1 is 0, the log of 0.1 should minus 1.
So it will go in the fourth quadrant. So how will it look like?
Something like this.
Okay, anyways.
Are you comfortable with graphs for quadratic equations?
I can try.
You can try. Okay.
Some paper.
Thank you.
So write down an equation: x square plus 9x plus 20. Put a mod around it. Minus 11 and put a mod around it. The whole. Yeah, try this graph.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Really?
But I can draw a rough figure, which would be, it would be the peak would be below the x-axis. Something like this.
The final graph?
Yeah, since x square is positive.
But then the entire graph is mod, right? So the output cannot be negative. Like f of x cannot be negative, correct? So the graph that you have drawn, the value of y is also negative. I mean, there are at some values of x, y is negative.
I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure. But I'll study on this topic.
Okay. Do you think IPM is right fit for you?
Yes.
Why?
First thing is, IPM would build my foundation in business studies and management right after 12th. And since the program is residential, it would help me learn independent living. It would help me build stronger peer connections, and the academic rigor would shape me well for the real world. Then there are subjects like sociology and psychology, which would help me learn management from a psychological standpoint as well. Yes.
Okay.
What's your plan B in life if you don't get selected at our institute?
If I don't get selected at IIM Indore, my first step would be to introspect in what I did wrong, where was the mistake, and then the backup would be to prepare for CAT and then attempt again.
You'll prepare for
CAT and
CAT.
then attempt for IIM Indore.
Yeah, I think you should start working on your plan B already. Okay.
what are your weaknesses?
One of my weakness would be to not be able to say no easily. So, like, even when a few friends invite me somewhere when I have already my plan set up, I find it difficult to say no. But I'm improving on it. I am accessing my capabilities. I'm setting boundaries and improving. Like recently, one day before the IPMAT exam, one of my friends was inviting me to his birthday party, saying that you have studied for 2 years. One day won't do much. But then I said no, I can't come because this is the biggest priority for me right now.
Don't you think, I mean, what he said was right? When you have prepared for 2 years, how would, probably 3 hours of celebration impact your final outcome?
That too one day before the
It would disturb the mental, the mindset which I have, which would be to focus only on exam, to not get distracted by things. So it would have been better to only focus on exam and not on other things, since it is such an important exam.
What would your answer be if I ask you to stand up, get up on this table and dance?
I would first ask the reason behind it.
I am not bound to give you a reason.
I won't.
You won't dance.
On this day, no. I mean, I
But what if we say that, only if you dance, you'll be selected to IPM Indore.
if it has a specific, if it has a reason, then
No, there's no reason. If you dance, we will shortlist you.
I might.
Just now you said you won't.
This is a condition. Like you said, I would be selected in IIM Indore, but then
You might consider you.
I am not sure.
So you are clearly indecisive, which is like a big shortcoming for a manager. You are not thorough with your academics at all. So there are 2 points that I have to not select you today. Can you give me 2 more?
Of not selecting me. One would be that I find it difficult to say no, and second would be that I procrastinate a bit.
Oh, I mean, every Indian does that. I mean, that's the, I would say, inborn talent that we have, procrastination. Nothing different, I would say that. Anyways, okay. How many seats are there in Rajya Sabha?
250. 250 seats.
Or 252?
As far as I know, it is 250, but I'm not exactly
Who
sure.
is the Speaker of Rajya Sabha?
The Speaker of Rajya Sabha is the Vice President of India, that is Honorable Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar.
Okay, and which state does he come from?
I don't exactly recall, but I'm taking a guess. It would be Karnataka or Kerala. He's from South India, as far as I recall.
And who is the President of India?
President of India, Honorable President Draupadi Murmu.
And where does she come from?
I don't recall the exact state, but Northeast India.
It's from Northeast. Okay. Who is the chief of all the three the forces that we have, the Navy, Army and the Air Force?
I'm sorry, I don't recall the name, but I'll check it out.
Okay.
Do you have a representative in Lok Sabha? Is somebody representing you at Lok Sabha?
Yes. Not exactly me, but as a person, if I vote, the people who are in the Lok Sabha are representing me.
So currently you are not voting.
Yes.
Therefore you don't have a representative in Lok
I
Sabha.
wasn't of the legal voting age when the elections happened. So
who is this person? Had you voted?
I did not vote for anyone, but for common people, for a common man, everyone sitting in the Lok Sabha would be their representative, voicing their concern.
So who is representing from your locality?
One would be Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Minister of Commerce and Trade.
Okay. Who is the current aviation minister in the country?
I don't recall the exact name, but I don't recall the exact name.
It was there in news yesterday.
I'll check it out.
Do you know we have a commerce minister?
I know, yes.
What does a commerce minister do?
Commerce minister, the main function would be to regulate all trade relations between different countries, as well as the trade and different functions of commerce, such as regulating business in the country.
Regulating business
trade.
in the country.
Yes, trade
and
business.
trade. Then what does finance minister do?
Finance minister is more of involved. It is finance ministers.
So who decides this GST? Let's take this case. If I have to decide the GST on selling this glass, will a commerce minister take a call or the finance minister take a call?
The finance minister.
Then how is commerce minister involved in this?
The commerce minister would take a call in the way you sell this glass to me or someone else. The price, the taxes which you pay to the government would be decided by the finance minister.
So commerce minister does what? Sorry, I missed it.
He mainly focuses on the trade function, the way you sell or buy or procure goods.
way I sell or buy. So it's a marketing function.
Yes, and yeah.
Sure. Okay. So all these Instagram influencers are regulated by Commerce Minister.
No, not yet.
Not yet. You think they should be?
I don't think they
Then
should.
who regulates them?
The IT Ministry. The rule was recently passed, IPMAT.
Okay.
Do you know population of Mumbai?
I'm not exactly sure, but it is around 2 to 3 crores.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I wish.
Okay, one last question from my end. If the profit in any company increases, but the cash flow decreases, why it would happen?
Profit increases and cash flow decreases. I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm done.
So clearly, I think you're not getting into an IPM program, at least at Indore. And if not, then what's your, let's say, 7-year down the line plan?
My plan would be to upskill myself in different fields, and especially in the field of
So
artificial
till 7 years, you'll keep skilling yourself.
at least for the next 3 to 5 years.
No, I'm asking 7th year plan.
After upskilling, I see myself working in an I'm yet to refine my interests, but one of my key interest areas lies in live music industry. So I hope I work in that industry for a few years in a well-reputed company, gain some experience, and then take a call whether to continue working in that same company or start my own venture.
So why not do it immediately? Why are you even sitting here
Because
for a course like IPM?
I feel I'm not yet suitable. I don't have enough knowledge regarding management, which would be needed to manage a company at that level. And a course like IPM would help me gain.
So you want
that
to do
knowledge.
MBA to get into live music?
It is one of my key interest areas, but I'm still looking at other areas as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with the feedback. So I asked you question on, you mentioned about YT channel and making videos on Indian economy, air traffic pollutions and everything, correct? I asked you the pollution index of India and you are not aware. Which is the most polluted? I mean, you were confused before stating the answer. Okay, so when you are working on something and you are not aware about what is happening in that area, that's a big minus for me. I mean, I was expecting that you would be at least aware about the pollution index and the ranking of various cities and where does India stand on the pollution index. So that was a big minus for me. Your introduction was good. Okay, you covered a lot of aspects. You covered, from Mumbai, Head Boy, MUN, Shark Tank, moderation, YT channel. But, I was expecting that you would give me an answer to the questions which I asked you on your introduction. Like, because you have participated in multiple MUNs and, I was expecting you to know the answer of Global South. That was completely wrong. It's not based on, the southern hemisphere. Okay, I would recommend you to at least read about what is Global South. Multipolar world, you were more or less there. Okay, but Global South, you were completely wrong. Completely as in, not even close to the actual answer. Then I asked you on GDP thing, you were there, you explained me the 3 different methods. Inflation, you were again there, but when Karthik sir asked you about what should be the ideal inflation, I think that's when you got tricked, okay, because he immediately catched you. If it is the inflation, it should be as high as possible, okay. So that answer you are not able to justify properly.
But was the answer correct that the inflation should be around 2 to 4%?
You can it should be as low as possible, but it should not be 0 or 1, but 2 to, yeah, you can say that range is fine. Yeah, but then as you said, more the inflation, there should be inflation, only then the country can grow. That would mean that, higher the inflation, better for the country. So that is where I believe, your answer was not, there was shortfalling in your justification. Then we moved to a why IPM program. I felt the answer was too generic. If instead of Kshitij, someone else would have said, that answer would still remain true, because you were only talking about what would IPM program provides you. You never related that answer with what is your goal and how will an IPM program from IIM Indore help you to achieve your goal. So that's a different way of asking the program. That's a different way of asking you a question. What's your goal and why this program? So you should have ideally connected or linked your answer to your goal and how it will help you to achieve your goal. Okay, rather than giving a generic answer where you give answer about subjects and multidisciplinary approach and everything. Okay, I think that's true for anyone who would do an IPM program. And then at the end, I ask you about your weakness. Okay, again, what weakness did you mention?
Difficulty saying no.
Difficulty
And
saying
procrastination.
no. And procrastination. I mean, I think you are not prepared for those weaknesses. You have not thought of, right?
I do. I have thought of the weakness.
Only 2 weaknesses that you have?
One is not a major weakness, but a weakness that I did not used to prioritize sleep as much as it was needed.
Could have mentioned that.
I
Okay.
felt it was not that major.
And the last, I ask you a very hypothetical question on profit increases, the cash flow decrease, that you study in probably of lesser inventory, or you study that in account. Okay, so I was expecting that question. I mean, could have, because you have studied recently in your 12th standard.
I never came across such a topic. Actually.
It's the application of what you have studied. So could have answered that, could have taken few more seconds to think about it, because it was an hypothetical based question, not a very oftenly seen question, very hypothetical question. So should have answered, could have taken more time, could have tried something. Trying was important. Yeah, and main was maths. I think maths was horrible, I would say that. A lot of efforts need to be put in, because all the questions that we asked, were not up to the mark. I tried to, give you hints so that you could reach to a right answer. The first question you eventually reached, mod of e raised to minus x. But again, the next question you made the same mistake, and you didn't try much. You just, I think, with that impulsiveness, you gave the answer, and that was wrong, and you didn't try. That was, I would say that at least you show an intent to try. The way we tried the first question, where we put x is equal to 1, 10, we plotted the graph, right? For log of x, we plotted the graph, and then you could have plotted the graph for log of 0.1, 0.001. You could have got the answer probably. You could have reached to the correct answer eventually, even though you don't know. If you would have tried step by step, that's what it is important. You trying step by step and getting to the right answer is also fine. So need to work a lot on that.
Yeah, so for me, I think the start, or rather the first answer was an ideal answer. If I have to today prepare any student about yourself, if you would have come to me and this is the exact answer I would have given you, that Kshitij, you need to mention all of these things. Problem with that is, it is a double-edged sword, because you are giving so many areas to the panel to test you on. So if you fall short of in an area, it reflects badly. It reflects poorly on you, because these are the things that you have told the panel that I'm good at. And when you are tested on it, if you are not good at, I completely lose trust in testing you on anything else, because that is one thing you told me that you are good at, and if you are falling consistently short on it, then I'm not really interested in asking you a lot of other questions that I probably want to know. Okay, so when you open up things like MUN, you open up things like Shark Tank, then maybe air travel safety and pollution and all of that. There are a lot of things. So my recommendation is that if you genuinely are interested in these things, you should read up, and read up a lot, and you need to be the best guy around on all of these things. And if that is the case, I am reasonably sure the interview would not have gone into anything else, maybe one or two topics that because we are training you, we would have asked you on purpose. Otherwise, probably your entire interview would have gone in the areas that you were confident on. So that's where I felt that you were short of, and you should not be. So you should be well read, because you're talking about MUN. You have to be well read about the international relations, especially in today's context, because they're so relevant. Okay, everything going on from the Russia-Ukraine thing to where is India standing there, from the Trump's tariff wars to the India-Pakistan war, and Israel-Iran, whatever is going on. So then you need to have a stand if you're going to talk about MUN, or else don't mention it altogether. And the same thing with your air travel safety and pollution. So pollution, every month there are 1,000 reports published on where we stand on pollution, where we stand on whatever. So at least your basics need to be in place. You don't need to know every single thing, but your basics have to be in place. When you're opening up so many things, we have a lot of avenue to play around with, what we want to test you on. So either don't put up so many things on the table that this is what I'm good at, you can ask me anything, or back it up with enough research and enough data, and you really need to impress the panelist that you mean business. Or else open up only two things and be very confident there. That I think is a better approach.
I would say that, you do research on all those things that you have said and give them a bouquet to ask you questions, because, then you will be having a very good conversation with them where you will be able to drive the interview the way you want. Okay, so you have enough time. You have still at least 1 week, minimum 1 week of time, probably more. You have enough time. Read on everything that you could. About MUN, Shark Tank. I did not grill you on Shark Tank. The judges and everything. About your YT channel. The topics, the video that you make on. Read on the topics that you are working and ensure that you are fully prepared.
If I ask you rather that in the last 2 years of your life, if there is only one thing that you could have done, one thing that you should have done, what would that be?
Focus more on health.
Focus more on?
Health.
You should have done, and you did not do it, is what you're saying?
Yes.
No, what I'm trying to get at is that as a student sitting here, the only priority that should have been in the last 2 years was your academics. You managed your academics very well. You have a very good score. If you don't back it up with equally good answers in the interview, again, you are falling short of what you are offering. So for someone like you who's telling me that I am academically a good student and I have my scores to prove it, you just cannot afford to not know any academic answers, especially mathematics. Economics, I think I was decently happy with the answers that you gave, barring a few questions. But maths, again, it was a big problem. The commerce thing that I asked you, it was a trick question, but you fell for it. So you should know a little about. See, you being good in commerce, you being good in 12th standard, 12th grade economics, 12th grade maths, you will probably find everybody else on the Indore day that they probably will be as good as you or better than you. If you are only there, you don't give me any reason to select you. Okay, so you need to give me that extra edge that I not only know my economics well, but I know what an RBI governor does. I know what is RBI doing, how does it control inflation. So I'm saying real world references, real world applications will help you gain that edge over everybody else who's only coming to the table with theory knowledge of what they've done in 12th. So I'm saying you should not stop at the theory knowledge of 12th, you need to go beyond it, but first you need to reach there. So first you have to ensure that you know everything that you studied in 12th, and then also try and go beyond that. So if you tell me that your favorite subject is economics, you tell me your favorite subject is maths, I will expect you to know. In fact, I think towards the end of the interview, you mentioned something about music. Maths and music go a lot together. We could have grilled you on that, and I'm sure you would not have answers there, because there is a lot to be grilled about. So if that's also something that you're going to mention or something, it's better that you read up on it, how they are connected, how do you design music, using mathematical equations and all that. And that's a great thing to talk about in an interview if you are able to confidently pull off. Otherwise, it's okay.
But the thing I told was I was not interested in music making, but rather how live music events are managed and organized.
That's what I'm saying. So, point is you have to be interested in music. Therefore, you will get into live music. No, otherwise, if it is management, then you can get into management of anything. You can manage maybe a chain of vada pav stalls. That's also management, no?
Right.
So you need to introspect whether you want to talk about management or whether you want to talk about music. You have to be inherently interested in music. Therefore, you mentioned about live music. Do you understand? So then tell me that. Otherwise, don't talk about this so specific thing that I want to get into management of live music. Why? What is so great about it? Is it a proven industry? No. And if it is management, then management is applied to everything and anything that we do in our everyday lives. And every single business works on management. Then it can be anything. Then it does not need to be music. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. Thank you.